Not really a big fan of it, but still going to be something to be worried about as well. Jungle Martis has been really popular into his ranked games. Fanny being banned off is no surprise as well. But when it comes to BurnXFlash's composition, I think we haven't seen enough of their playstyles to actually talk a little bit more. I know you guys who are watching from Cambodia is going to be very, very happy about how things may look like when it comes to their composition. I feel like based on the scenario, what is the best draft to talk about? Paquito has been nerfed off completely. What other heroes? Like, hold up. I really need to actually think of what we need to think about right now. And Faram is being banned despite the nerfs coming towards the ultimate here. The Cult Altar is something that I think it's still a force to be reckoned with, but I feel like the Cult Altar has nerfed to a point where you don't get the Cult Altar's buff after you leave the vicinity of the Faramis. And that's the thing about that, right? The Cult, if you're a Faramis, you'd have the mobility, but a lot of majority of mobility heroes can actually outrun the movement speed of Faramis. And so this is something that I don't really particularly favor. Not a big fan of how the meta has kind of shifted away. So IDNS just doesn't want to take a risk, but Burn, on the other hand, they are going to be focusing on going for that 1-1 pickup, which is something that I'm not really a big fan in the current patch as well. It's a little bit harder to proc those crossbow tanks, easier to remove. Hero, any particular players with battle spells with Purify is going to be able to get out of those crossbow tanks' passive abilities. Diggy is also an interesting way of going, what's it called? Of removing those stacks in particular. Valentina, even though it's been nerfed, the ultimate still very strong force to be reckoned with. Benedetta, not exactly a big fan of first pick Benedetta, but you are going to be opting to go for a little bit of first pick material. So that's something that I think IDNS is still going to be going with something comfortable, available. But now, when it comes to the heroes here, I think Roger is something that a lot of people kind of underestimated as well. M3, they had the Roger skin available. People kind of strayed away, but eventually it wasn't super broken, but it was extremely annoying to deal with. I think that's a hero that maybe they can consider to go for. Fredrin, a pretty no-brainer as of yet in current meta. Silence, dominance, very strong. The taunts are really annoying. The Appraiser's Draft does a lot of damage in terms of counter engagement. Doesn't exactly give a high value ultimate in towards the opponent's side. I think from the side of Burn, they're in a situation where they should be picking heroes that do not allow the Valentina to shine the most in terms of the ultimate, right? But that's the thing. Picking a Farsa in towards the Valentina, I did not expect this coming from Burn, just because of the fact that they already showed their hand Valentina. A lot of teams kind of stray away that respecting the power of Valentina, one of the highest win rates. It's been nerfed multiple times. But the question here is, the ultimate itself gives you so much value, right? As a Mage's Valentina, you give away a Feathered Airstrike, it just shows you that this Valentina is going to hit even harder. So I'm really surprised that despite that, Burn says, hey, you know what? I've got a Farsa. I'm going to run your way through. I'm going to destroy you and go for this hero pickup. Carmilla also making a comeback into the tank department as well. We haven't seen too much of it. I think for 3 to 4 seasons now into the MLBB community seasons based on Malaysia season as well. When it comes to Valentina, Carmilla, there has been synergies where teams actually prioritize picking the Sicilian and Carmilla to get that extra Moonlight Waltz as an ability to actually give you a little bit more damage and or escape ability as well. So this is something that I'm really surprised they showed their Valentina. Irritil, pretty no-brainer, pretty straightforward, gives you the mobility. Burn, they do ban off the Leslie as well as the Beatrix. These are two very, very strong marksmen in current meta. Not a big fan of the Leslie yet. You know, there has been a lot of multiple reworks as well. They revamped the Leslie, buffed up a little bit of damage. Personally, I've not found out the right build for Leslie, but the poke damage coming from Leslie is annoying. The true damage is annoying. But when it comes to just raw auto attack from the get-go, heroes like Wanwan, heroes like Irritil, heroes like, I don't know, maybe even the Melissa does a little bit more value. We've seen oftentimes in the region as well, some of the teams actually pick the Moskov when it comes to just raw auto attack. So it's something that I really like to see a little bit more, but I'm really surprised they actually force ban the Leslie. But they go in for the Atlas, they go in for the Hayabusa as well. Hayabusa being buffed up recently as well gives it a little bit more value in jungle, so we might be seeing the assassin jungles back into its current meta. Burn, pretty straightforward. Jungle Hayabusa, off lane Fredrin, tank Atlas in the mid lane, roaming with the Farsa, 1-1 and the marksman. So pretty straightforward composition from them. Wombo combo, pretty straightforward. But when it comes to IDNS, we have Valentina that just benefits so much in terms of the ultimates, right? We have the Farsa ultimate, we have the Fatal Links coming for Atlas that just gives you a little bit more value. While from the side IDNS, they have got the Landstop with a little bit more juking abilities to actually potentially take down the Fredrin. But based on this composition, not gonna lie, I like Burn's composition a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Burn's composition a little bit more just because of the fact that they do have a little bit more easier, straightforward composition, right? Like you just go in for auto tag, go in for the skills, and then you just one shot at one guy, you know, you get this wombo combo to just catch people off. Whereas from the side of Valentina, despite the multiple nerfs, for you to be poking around, cutting the backline is going to be extremely difficult to do so. And one of the biggest, hardest heroes to actually be focusing on is going to be the 1-1 itself, you know. When it comes to the 1-1, I think that is one of the hardest hero to actually punish. So it makes a lot of sense why, from the perspective of Burn, they first phase ban off the Phobias, hinting that, hey, I want to pick this 1-1. And I don't really know why people still pick into it, but at the same time, there has been a lot of teams that adapted into the 1-1 pickup by getting Purifies, getting Time Journeys, Digi as well, or maybe even just one-shotting the hero right from the get-go. But without further ado, we are going to be jumping straight into the game as of now, and this is going to be the game to watch, and this is Burn on the blue side and IDNS on the red side. Ladies and gentlemen, first game of the series. I know you guys have been waiting for so long. And of course, IDNS representing from Thailand. Burn going to be representing from Cambodia. Is going to be starting things off from the get-go in front of us. We do see Mizimic as well as Zanri going to be in the middle lane. Gekyume as well as Seacat going to be in the middle lane. Nothing super crazy fancy yet. It's just standard openings coming from both sides down towards mid lane control. Bottom side, ATM is going to be going up against the Benedetta. So a little bit surprised. I was expecting the Benedetta to be in the jungle lane potentially, but seems like playing on the XP lane is going to be the way to go for IDNS. Burn playing it so. Seems like they are going to be playing the patient game for now. Nothing super crazy. They are going to be respecting each other for now, but it seems like IDNS, they're setting up an ambush up top. They really want to pressure the gold lane in particular, trying to shut down ZZZ on this 1-1 as much as they can, but considering that it is still rather early, I feel like the Irritel does have a slight upper hand against a 1-1 just because of the fact of the armor shredding composition coming from the Irritel itself. Just gives so much value when it comes to chipping away at towards the armor and penetration. But seems like Zanri almost getting picked off. We get a little bit nicer juicy damage coming from Wise, and Gekyume will try to go in for the finish off, but unfortunately just couldn't get the last auto attack onto a Zanri, and Zanri will survive that, courtesy of how the debuffs tankiness coming in from Camilla itself, giving them the slight edge. Nicely done. Great outplay coming from there. So that's going to be Burn losing one member from the get-go. IDNS now has to respect this and going for the reset, and Burn now trying to make something work down towards the bottom lane. Not going to get any sort of trade-offs. Izzy getting a little bit too ballsy right now all by himself. This is a Benedetta. Feather Extra has been expanded. He's looking for the 1v1 kites, but no! Wise completely outplays him. Great mechanical skills coming in from Wise. Completely shuts him down with his Hayabusa. Baits into Slytherins, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade-off. Now Mizimic forced to go for the Fatal Links with this Valentina stolen away. Unfortunately, no follow-up for the rest of the team of IDNS, and that's going to be Burn biting back with 2-for-1. ATM on a solo kill against Lois for the Turtle contest as well. Turtle also stolen from the side of Burn in this first engagement. what seemed to be a little bit of mistake coming from Burn immediately gets capitalized, and the comeback is real. Now they're going to be leading with 1.3k economy, just like that. What a game to start things off representing from Burn. IDNS, however, made a little bit small mistake, disrespected the Fredrin itself. So this is going to be a very, very interesting one for now, because as of yet, let's take a look at what they have to say, because things can get a little bit interesting, because it is going to be a little bit slow as IDNS. They have to play this a little bit patiently. They've lost a little bit too much players, especially when Lois, he's lost 1 health on his own. So they got 1 death in the pocket. He needs to find his way to get some sort of like XP and economy to catch up with Wise. Wise is a big threat as of now, even though he doesn't really know it yet, because IDNS, they don't exactly have the tools to shut down this Hayabusa yet. They need a strong engagement, but Valentina not having the catch, but here comes the Phalo Links. They get 1 more combo, they get 2, they go 1, and that is going to be 2 completely taken out of the equation. No backup whatsoever. Burn immediately spots out that there was at least 2 players down middle lane. There's no way they're going to be able to make it in time to provide the backup. A big gold platings in the hands of ZZZ. And that's going to be the 1-1 pretty farmed up. 2-0 and 1 on this 1-1. I was a little bit worried with this 1-1 as of yet. But it seems like this is going to be the way to go, because as of yet, Burn doing a fantastic early dominance as well. Made small mistakes. Now immediately in the driver's seat, completely trying to ram towards IDNS. IDN, however, doesn't want to give up the second turtle yet. They are going to be trying to set up for this fight. I'm really surprised they are going to try and make an attempt. Meanwhile, Burn, ATM all by himself, goes for the taunt, tries to force the fight against Lois, but they do get a trade on towards a far side from C-Cat. Burn completely caught off guard, but here comes the failing once again. Do they have the follow-up from Burn? I don't think they do. IDNS, they're going ham at this as well, but ATM, look at this, he still doesn't have the appraiser's rough. He's got a healthy, huge chunk, but IDNS completely splitting the fight into 2 and coming up on top, but still, they lost Mizi Ming in the process despite that fight. They've got 1 kill, but they don't seem to have the damage to do so. So that's going to be full disengage. They have to respect this. They've lost a tier 1 up top. They lost a huge creep wave up top as well. Burn just completely saying that, you know what, as long as you guys don't take the turtle, it's all good. Seems like even though the fight seems to be favoring IDNS, they're just a little bit too underfarmed. Economy-wise, 3k swinging onto his Burn side, and Burn just taking a huge lead as of now. And finally, they will make one turtle, lane control finally in check, and IDNS seems like they are going to try and force the fight again. Zanri getting taunted up, and it seems like he is going to be taken out of the picture as well. Fatal Link also could be used out to bait out, and unfortunately to say, IDNS, they just don't have the damage to do so. MZY almost dying towards Wise on the OK shadow kill. Unfortunately, RNG not in his favor, so he is going to be back out for now. But Burn, perfect lane control, 4k. What a dream start coming from Burn. But all things considered, it's not over yet. IDNS only losing a tier 1 up top. IZ is going to be trying to trade off of top as well. Seems like they are going to try and split off the jungler as well as the offlaner up top to get a little bit more value. Burn, however, going to be trying to mirror the same as well as they chip away on the tier 1s down bottom. So that's going to be IDNS taking the tier 1 up top for now. 70 seconds before the third turtle. They need to find some sort of ambush, and seems like Burn, they are looking just exactly that. Zanri is going to be the first target to be focused down. Do they have the damage to do so? But Izzy also going to be flanking from the backs, focusing on Seeker. They're calling in the 1-1, but big Fatal Links comes in, connects on 3. IDNS, they have to back out. They have to run for it as well, because EZZ is here. He's relatively healthy. IDNS, they lose through. Burn completely caught them in a choke point now. EZY going for the electroflying blow. Unfortunately, doesn't have the skills to connect, and ATM will shut him down. And that's gonna be Burn getting a convincing kill once again. IDNS unstoppable as of yet. Crazy decisions being set up for them as well. The ambushes is surreal. Meanwhile, IDNS, what's the comeback plan for them? Because the way I see it, they they don't have the tools. They need levels up on 33, and it's only level 8. This Irritail's got 3 deaths to the name, and Burn every single time they make sure the marksman gets taken out before anything goes down. ATM on the other hand has got 503 on this Frederick. The taunt has been really on point, and IDNS, they are just disrespecting it a little bit too much as for now. So it's all about the patient game. Genius 1 already purchased up from MZY Ming on this Valentina. Not a huge threat yet, but nope. Another choke spot fight once again. IDNS Henry needs to back off. Burn. They're going for this fight, but at the same time, while this is happening, the entirety of the fight, Wise was actually focusing on Turtle, so they need to disengage. They're waiting out for Wise to come in. Fatal Link stolen from MZY Ming is not the runner re-engage, but now Wise coming in from the sides. They finally go in for the flank. They trade off MZY Ming, and IDNS took that fight a little bit too long, and Bird playing it really disciplined, realizing it was a 4v5, should not extend their fights a little bit longer. All they gotta do is just buy time for Wise to re-engage. And IDNS, despite all that the fights, they just completely whiffed the mark, and MZY not connecting with the Fatal Links just so hurtful towards them. And it's very difficult for them to actually make a small fight as of now, because this from the way I'm seeing how things is actually going, things are not looking good for IDNS, and it's really difficult to do so. And Burn is just completely zoning out the jungle. Oh my goodness, this is definitely very hard to actually play this right now. Let's see what they do for now. Berserker's Fury up on 33. Looking for those crits to actually come true from the sides. Fatal Links from Geku Mei goes in from the back. Catches one mega kill for ZZZ. And also popping the crossbow tanks. He gets double for it. And that's going to be complete wipeout coming in from Burn to take them all out. And just like that, Burn just end the driver's seat. They want to close up this game, and they can. Bottom lane is pretty much exposed. They will lose the tier 3. IDNS, they've got about 4 seconds up on Zanri before they actually go in for the comeback. But seems like Burn, they will focus on the crystal, and they will take the first game against IDNS. Very convincing game by them, and that is just how it's that action has been played from them. And that is, well, one of the chillest win I've ever seen coming from. But look at them. They're just completely very chill. They know that, you know, very convincing game. It's